What's up, folks? It's your good buddy Shafe. Hey, I want to remind you guys of what I said in a video the other day when I was talking to Southern Paladin about the guy that he had to fire and how I had similar experiences with people who worked for me who were all about garnering sympathy and how they would set me up. So I want to expand on that a little bit, and I want to try to tie it into something that's going on right now, and it's going to be a very loose tie, but I'm going to try to fit it all together for you guys, try to fit together what's in my mind. So I was a vice president of sales at Countrywide Home Loans back in 2007, which actually, it sounds like a huge title, but it's really not, because they had like hundreds of vice presidents in this company. Whenever you became a manager, they called you a vice president, so no big deal. Anyway, so I was a sales manager is basically what I was. I was a branch manager. I was running a branch, and there was like 27 freaking loan officers reporting to me. It was ridiculous how busy and how crazy it was. So many people reporting to me. It was one of the most hectic jobs I ever had in my life. But anyway, it was very, very good experience for me, even though it was incredibly overwhelming. So once they announced that I was going to be promoted, even before I got my spot, there were certain people who I knew all these people, like, because they were on my team, and I was taking over my own team. So I was already part of the branch. I already knew these people. I already worked with them, but I didn't know that much about a lot of them. But the second it was announced that I was going to be their supervisor, all of a sudden I had a good number of people come up to me and start telling me all their personal shit. And I just thought it was really interesting. Like, I'd known these people for years and never heard these sides of their lives before. And then when I became a supervisor, all of a sudden it's like, oh, Shafe, hey, I was meaning to tell you, my son is really sick, and, he's got an ear infection, blah, blah, blah. And my mother is this, and I have a swollen elbow, and like, just all this crap about everything under the sun, as far as, and it didn't take me very long at all to figure out that, like, they were setting me up. They were trying to set me up for what they were gonna, the shit that they were going to be pulling while they were under my employ. Not just calling in sick, like showing up late, not getting their work done, all that kind of crap. And then they were going to throw all that shit back in my face. Remember, Shafe, when I told you, when you first started here, remember I told you about my back problems that I had? Remember when you first started your new position, and I told you that my mother, struggles with alcoholism, and I have to drive down to Tucson every couple weeks to bail her out of jail because she's like drunk in an alley and blah, like all this shit, all this crazy shit, Am I saying these people were lying to me? No, I'm not saying, in fact, I think most of the stories were legit, but the fact that they're using them as excuses to not do their job and not show up to work, and to have to leave early, and to have to take long weekends, and to have to, call off at the last minute, and all that crap, that's what they were doing. They were setting me up for that. So anyway, now I want to make a very far leap in this video and try to tie the two together, but I'm still going to do it. So this nonsense that's been going on with this supposed whistleblower, I can't remember his name. He's got a weird name, Grush something, whatever his name is. Some whistleblower, some high up official in the federal government, used to report to the White House, like give White House briefings about this and this and this. Now he's supposedly a whistleblower, and he's saying that the United States has evidence of UFOs, and we actually have intact vessels that were made by non-humans, like aliens from other planets. Like, we have these vessels. Some of them are intact, some of them have crashed, and they're like they're not working. Some of them work. We have alien bodies. We have all this shit, and there have been some aliens who are malevolent, as he puts it in his own words, that are they're not looking out for human best interests. They're interested in murdering us or getting rid of us. Like, you guys have to understand. You guys have to understand that we're being set up. Okay? I'm sorry, but we are being set up for something. They are getting ready to drop a huge bomb on us. And I don't mean an actual bomb, I mean an information bomb. They're getting ready, like with the shit that they have with AI, the stuff that they can do now to make stuff look real on television when it actually isn't real. It's computer graphic, it's CGI, it's AI. They can make it look like all kinds of shit is happening when it's not happening. You guys gotta understand that this is what's getting ready to happen. Now, call me a conspiracy theorist, call me whatever you want. I don't care what you want to call me. But supposedly for decades, the U.S. has known about this stuff. And now, what is causing this guy to be able to come out of the closet now and warn us about this? Well, I can tell you what they're saying is that supposedly Joe Biden signed into law like a whistleblower protection policy, even in the federal government, for people who have witnessed UFO sightings and stuff like that, like top secret stuff. So, in other words, the government is opening the door for the government to be exposed. So why would the government open its own door to be exposed like that? Why would the government, if the government wanted to keep it secret, why would the government then open the door for whistleblowers to unveil those secrets? The government was in control before, they're still in control now. So all I'm telling you is that get ready, get prepared, like whatever they're getting ready to do, whatever they're getting ready to show us, whatever they're getting ready to supposedly reveal to us, whatever it is, right now they're setting us up for it. They're slowly, incrementally setting us up for some bullshit that my guess is supposed to unite all of the countries together so that we as a planet have one common enemy to fight from another planet or some bullshit like that. And, again, I don't care. You call me a conspiracy theorist, call me whatever you want. But you know what they want eventually. And by they, I mean the globalists and the Klaus Schwab and the this and the that and the George Soros and the, all the globalist guys. They want a one world government. That's what they want. I'm not saying that they can necessarily get it. I'm saying that that's what they want. Just like the Nazis wanted to take over the world. They weren't able to do it, but that's what they wanted, right? So these globalists, they want a one world government, and they probably think that if we all have a common enemy, if even the Christians and the Muslims and the Jews and the Sikhs and the atheists and everybody, if we all have this common enemy from planet Xenon or wherever the hell these beings are supposed to be from, then we'll all unite and come together and we'll all live as one and whatever, But think about just think. I'm just asking you guys to just don't believe everything you hear. Realize that I smell a rat, something smells fishy. There's no question about it. That the way this whole thing is coming to fruition, the average American, the average person is going to be too dumb to notice how they went about what they're doing. And they're just going to believe it, hook, line, and sinker. I mean, don't you think that COVID could have been a trial run for a bunch of bullshit? Just a bunch of bullshit. Just a whole lot of bullshit. A trial run for let's mandate masks and let's see how many people do what we tell them to do. Let's see how many people we can control and make them live in fear for months, weeks, years, whatever. Make them wear a mask. And to this day, people are wearing masks, for fuck's sake. I mean, I went out to dinner with my family tonight, and our waitress was wearing a mask. It's 2023, and she's worried about COVID-19? She's worried about something that's 4 years old, and she's wearing a fucking mask? The waitress? When's it going to stop with some of these people? They're going to wear masks for the rest of their lives. So, there's different sectors of society. There's the people who you can easily control by fear, and there's the people that you can't. And then there's everything in between. There's some people that you have to make something really, really super scary to finally control them by fear. And other people, you just have to push their buttons a little bit. You just have to nudge them a little bit in the right direction. And you can rule them with fear. Other people, not so easily. Not so easily. But this whole UFO bullshit, in my opinion, it's just my opinion. A high-ranking official, right? He's not a crazy guy. He's not a farmer out in the middle of Kansas. He's not some kook, right? He's a high-ranking military official, supposedly, who supposedly saw or heard something and was briefed on something or this or that or whatever. And Joe Biden passed legislation that protects him as a whistleblower to allow him to come out with this bullshit. I'm sorry. It's too believable to actually be believable. If that makes any sense. I think something's coming down the pike. I don't know what it is. I think it's bullshit. And I'm trying to be the first one to warn anyone who wants to listen. All right. Have a good night.